Welcome to the COMC High School Football Coaches Show, presented by the great folks at Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. Also brought to you by Surdike Yamaha, our veterinary, Polylift Boat Lifts, the Missouri Coalition for Roadway Safety, Buckle Up, Phones Down, and Lake Ozark Real Estate, Jonathan Hartenstein, broker associate. You can see we're here at the School of the Osage, home of the Indians. It's Coach Shannon Jolly with us. And Coach, we at Lake TV, we've got your Friday night game at home against Moberly. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, we're excited about having you guys here. You know, I think over the last couple of years, I've realized, you know, how cool it is for people, grandparents, and even people from, you know, some of our alumni to tune in and watch games. So we appreciate you guys being here.
Absolutely. We'll talk more about Moberly coming right up. So game one in Jefferson City didn't quite go the way you wanted it to go. A little bit disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk all day. Really the thing is, I was just disappointed that we didn't play harder. And we knew we had our hands full with Jeff City. They have, you know, 3 or 4 of their big guys, you know, are probably collegiate players. Well, not probably, they are. And we knew we had our hands full with the younger offensive line and defensive line. But just to be real, I was super disappointed in our effort. At the end of the game, it didn't look like we got out of a battle. And so it's disappointing. And we talked about it. And, you know, maturity-wise, for those guys to try to figure that out is going to be imperative.
You know, that is so much of a part of any game, any sport, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, whatever, is the effort that the guys put in and the how much, you know, sweat and blood and everything is going into it. How do you coach that up with a team?
Well, we try to set the tone in practice, but, you know, we just talk about it. We talk about phrases like bloodshed. You know, when you're in a battle, like there's bloodshed, and no matter what anybody wants to say about this sport, it provides something different that you have to go through like that. And, you know, it just wasn't, that wasn't what it looked like after the game. It looked like we were passive, looked like we were not confident, and that's disappointing. But to try to set the tone, I think our kids, you look at yourself on film, and all of these young men have a sense of pride about them and a sense of self-worth. And I think when they looked at the film, I think they were as discouraged as their coaches were about, man, we left a lot on the table Friday night.
Right, and you want that as a coach. You want the players to see that, be disappointed, want to get a little bit better. What did you see that you liked Friday night?
Well, I thought our special teams played well. We not only, you know, kicked a field goal to get on the board, and not that it made a difference in the outcome of the game, but, you know, anytime you can get special teams play kind of narrowed down or solidified early in the season is big. You know, if you remember last year going into this Moberly game, you know, you could say we lost the game due to special teams last year. So this year to come out early in week 1, you know, Coach Butler has done a really good job of taking ownership of that group of kids and putting them in a good spot. So our special teams played well. And, you know, we were close. It may not have looked like it from the stands, but when you look at film and you take it, you know, we're a lot closer than maybe what it looked like Friday night.
Well, that's good to know. As a coach, it's good to know that. Is it tough when you start out the season with a road game? Does that make it any harder?
No, that's tough. Not for me, it doesn't. I mean, you travel to the Jamboree, you've kind of done those things, and it's just about loading up and playing. You everywhere, you don't know week 9 if you're going to, or week 10, excuse me, if you're going to travel or not. So,
yeah,
you know, you wait and you find out, but to have it scheduled and planned ahead, I mean, it's balanced and it's what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. So we get ready for Moberly, a game on Lake TV this Friday night. We'll talk about the Moberly Spartans when we come back on the COMC High School Football Coaches Show. At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center offers 3 OBGYNs at the Osage Beach Clinic and 2 pediatricians with same-day appointments available. At COMC, our doors are open to everyone with 5 primary care locations conveniently located across the Ozarks. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission.
Being a successful Laker athlete takes hard work, discipline, and teamwork, much like our work here at Polylift Boat Lifts. If you envision your team being the best, you will be the best. The effort you put into building your team and working together as one unit always pays off. And remember, Lakers, who's got it better than us? Congratulations to all the Laker athletes from all of us at Polylift Boat Lifts.
We don't just build boat lifts, we build Poly lifts.
Welcome back to the COMC High School Football Coaches Show here at the School of the Osage, home of the Indians. Coach Shannon Jolly, home opener this Friday night against Moberly. They beat Smith Cotton, beat them pretty handily last week, 28-7. What is this Moberly team looking like?
Well, I think they look like a team that's consistent. I mean, I think they've grown even a lot from last year. And, you know, that was a unique game for us to judge off of last year because we definitely did not play our best football in week 2 last year. But probably from a fan's perspective or looking at it, we probably match up a little bit more evenly physically with Moberly than we did Jeff City. But that's why we have games like our week 1 game is to get us prepared and kind of get some a true identity. But, you know, Moberly's well coached. They do a lot of good things, and they've always had great athletes. I mean, it's going to be a great contest. Should be a good night of football.
Yeah, what do they like to do? Are they like a running team, passing team? Well,
it looks like things go through their quarterback on offense. I mean, he's real athletic, and he throws the ball well. And, you know, I think you see more and more of the dual-threat quarterbacks with quarterbacks being more driven in the offense than you used to. So, you know, week in and week out, that's the first thing you look at is what skill set does their quarterback have, and this young man is a really good player for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Usually it all revolves around the quarterback in high school football. Home opener. Is the home opener special? Is there something to that first game at home every year?
Yeah, I mean, we love playing here. But there's a sense of traveling that kind of gives you an edge too of the unknown when you get places, and so it's probably it equals out. I think when you travel, sometimes you're in a more of a hostile environment. It's different.
Yeah.
You're a little more comfortable at home. So you know, it really goes down to just getting yourself mentally prepared to play. And we talked about that earlier about week 1, we weren't mentally prepared. Hopefully being at home helps us a little bit, but high school kids can be easily distracted.
That's for sure. Old people can be easily distracted too. So I remember a couple years ago, your first game back here in Osage and the home opener, and you had players from long ago coming back and cheering you on and stuff. That's pretty cool. That's pretty special.
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, they don't come back now because they have Lake TV.
Yeah, that's right.
They can watch it from Cleveland and from Texas.
Yep.
No, all jokes aside, guys, that's it. I mean, even when I went back to Jeff City last week, it was like seeing some of the people. It's amazing. And this profession has provided my family and I to build some relationships with people that we never would have had in another profession. But having players come back is it. I joke all the time about people talk about winning rings, and I joke all the time about like the ring that I'm most interested in is the phone ringing and one of those former players give me a call up and let me know how they're doing. And it happens all the time now, especially as you get older. Kind
of special. I mean, it's almost like they're your sons in a way, you know, when those players that have played for you and they come back like that. So we've got Moberly this week. What are you going to have to do? What do you want your guys to do Friday night to get a win? Our intensity level has to be like, you know, out of this world. Like, we got to come in frustrated about not playing as hard as we could on Friday against Jeff City and come in here and really just get after it. I think we've got kids now. You'll see us up front, especially offensively, get better and better throughout the year. But we kind of dropped the ball a little bit last week as far as taking as big a step as we need to. But our young kids are going to find their way. And like I said, we've got a lot of young kids starting. And, you know, I don't want to talk about the future. And literally, you could talk about the future of like tomorrow and this week. So it's all about them responding and how much they want to improve this year. We could be a really good football team week 10. And that's a good point, though. I mean, you lost 17 players off last year's team. You've got a lot of young underclassmen, and sometimes it takes them a little while to catch up to speed. Friday night, right here on Lake TV, the Osage Indians, Coach Shannon Jolly at home against the Moberly Spartans. So be sure to join us pregame at 6:30, kickoff at 7. Up next, we head over to Camdenton, catch up on the Lakers on the COMC High School Football Coaches Show. The high school football season is off and running. Season number 11 in a row on Lake TV. Friday night, William Holtz and Mike Biss will bring you a Week 2 showdown between Osage and Moberly. The Indians went all the way to the district championship last year. Can they get on a roll again this season? It all starts with a COMC pregame show at 6:30. Kickoff set for 7. High school football Friday night. Indians and Spartans on Lake TV.
You're up to 60% more likely to survive a crash if you're wearing a seatbelt. What else do you wish you had 60% more of? 60% more ice cream? 60% more weekend?
Happy Monday.
It's Tuesday, Doug.
60% more is better. And while seatbelts can't help you get more frozen deliciousness, they can help you survive a crash, which is kind of a bigger deal. Simple actions save lives.
Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family, and at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offer routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. Our veterinary, with 6 convenient locations, the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it.
And welcome back to the COMC High School Football Coaches Show. As you can see, we've made our way over to Camdenton, home of the Lakers. We're here on the practice field with Coach Parr Pitts. And Coach, what a great win Friday night. It looked a little shaky there early on against Rolla, but you guys got on a roll and pulled away.
Yeah, it was a good night to start. Fortunately, we found some things that we know that we can improve on. We got off to a real fast start, and then they responded like most teams will. They'll try to counter at you, and they did a good job of it. But the second half, we felt like we were much better, more consistent, it was a good win to start the season.
Absolutely, and start your head coaching career at Camdenton with a nice win. You had a lot of positives on offense. What did you see on offense that you liked?
I liked we were balanced, even though we had quite a few pass attempts. We had a good number of run attempts. We rushed the ball for, in that 200-yard range, and we threw the ball for 250 plus. That's a balanced set for me, and I want us to be balanced as we can be, so that you're not one-dimensional. Defensively, I felt like at times we were exactly what we wanted to be, and then at other times, if one or two people don't do their job to the level you need to, teams can exploit that. So we had that happen a little bit in the second quarter, but we righted the ship. I felt like our pursuit was good, our effort was good on both sides of the ball. Our special teams was good except for the first kickoff,
right?
Which was a momentum swing for us. Fortunately, they didn't score on that drive, but it could have been a different start to the game. But after that, our special teams were real solid.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a bit shocking right off the bat. It's a good thing there was a penalty on that one. It was interesting as I was watching it. Almost looked like the players sometimes felt more comfortable going back to that quick passing offense. It might take a couple of games to get them out of that habit that they've been in the last few years. I don't know, maybe that's just something I saw, but it looked like they were kind of going back home to mama with those passes.
For sure, and that's one of our strengths. We have good receivers, we have a good quarterback, we have the ability to spread the field and make people defend the whole field. And then sprinkling in the run game in an effective way puts pressure on people, because what are you going to do? Are you going to have to guess, or are you going to have some sort of game plan to get somebody playing in both worlds? And so we want to be able to do that, because that is our strength. And really, I learned a long time ago as a coach, the offense, defense, all those things are great, but you have to get your most dynamic players the ball, and you have to let your most dynamic players on defense not get blocked and run to the ball. So
right.
Those are two things that are core to our values.
Absolutely. Just makes sense as a coach, right?
Yeah.
And I was really impressed with young Mr. Durnan at quarterback. He's got a really quick release on those passes.
He does. He's got a good arm talent. He's got lots and lots of ability in terms of evading the rush and extending the play, and good decision making. He's one of those things. First varsity start. I thought he played extremely well.
Yeah, absolutely. And a nice win over Rolla to get the season started, 42-21, I think the final. So coming up this week, week 2, still at home against a really good Kickapoo team. We'll talk about that in a minute. But last year, a big last-second come-from-behind win over Kickapoo, and Kickapoo won their first game last week, really big. So we'll talk more about that when we come back on the COMC High School Football Coaches Show.
Hi, I'm Greg Surdike from Surdike Yamaha in Osage Beach. For over 50 years, Surdike Yamaha has produced an after-the-sales service, during the sales service. You ride on our reputation, and we need a lot of good employees to come help make that dream happen. So what we're looking for sales, we're looking for parts, we're looking for service. We're in Osage Beach. You can contact us at SurdikeYamaha.com, get on our website, do an application. Again, we're at Surdike Yamaha. We've been doing it for 50 years, and we're going to keep on going. We want some good employees like you to come be part of the team.
As you dream of your lake life, I invite you to dream bigger. Topsider Condos, the coolest place to live at the lake.
So what do you think? Your dream of living in luxury at Lake of the Ozarks could be but one phone call away. I wouldn't wait. Topsider.
And welcome back to the COMC High School Football Coaches Show. We're here at Camdenton. The Lakers winning last week over Rolla. This week, another conference game against Kickapoo. And I mean, a lot of people think of Kickapoo as a basketball school, and they are. But they usually have a pretty solid football team, too. Last year, you guys pulled off kind of a miraculous comeback to beat Kickapoo. They had a good team last year.
They sure did. You know, we had a lot of momentum going into that fourth quarter, and it enabled us to be able to run the football effectively enough to score. We got great field position on a bad snap, and sometimes you have to take advantage of those things when they happen, and sometimes you don't, and it turns around and bites you. So
yeah.
We took advantage of the opportunities we had last year, and you know, the first half I felt like we played pretty well, and then the second and third quarter were a little shaky, but we came back and got the win. And that's a sign of a mature ball club.
Yep.
You know, on the road, winning those kind of games. And so hopefully we can learn something from that. We're going to be at home.
Yep.
And be able to weather those things because they've got tons of talent.
They must. I mean, they come off a 63-0 win in their season opener last Friday night. What do they like to do? What do they do well?
They spread the field. They'll make you defend all 53 yards of the field, and then they've got a good running back. They've got a good H-back. Their offensive line is really solid. Defensively, they can all run. Their pad level's good, and that's usually a sign of a good defense. When the pad level, when they're tackling, when they're taking on blocks, when they're doing those kind of things, pad level's lower than their opponents, and so they have that. They're just good all around, a very talented team, one of the top talents probably in our conference.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting battle. What do you guys need to do Friday night in order to pull off the win?
Well, we can't sit back. We have to be aggressive. We have to be, attacking on defense. We have to be able to, on offense, be able to execute in the run game and sort of cause them to adjust so that they put more guys in the run game and less guys in the passing game. And then once you do that, then hopefully it's going to open up some bigger plays in the passing game. But I think special teams, just like last year, are going to play a big part. You know, you're going to have to establish field position, cause a turnover, or score on special teams, and you're going to gain the advantage.
Absolutely. Okay, so really good, tough game for just the second week of the season. Was there anything in the conference that surprised you last week? I saw Bolivar knocked off West Plains. Kind of surprised me a little bit. Bolivar's been pretty good the last few years.
Yeah, you know, we hadn't seen them. We saw West Plains this summer, so we knew they were talented. A tight ball game early in the year. A lot of people could call that an upset, but I know that Bolivar, every year that we've played them since they've been in the conference, they are well coached. They do have a new coach, but their kids are fundamentally sound. They're going to play hard, and so we know that. And that's pretty big trip from West Plains to Bolivar. I think it was at Bolivar.
Yeah, I think so too.
That makes it a little bit better in terms of being able to, that first road game. But yeah, that was kind of a surprise. And it, just to be honest, I don't know much else. I kind of look at our opponent, the next one, and maybe the next one.
Kind of tunnel vision.
I do. I let the other coaches kind of look at those things. But I just really what we say is after that Friday night, want to know the next week.
Absolutely. I think it was Glendale beating Waynesville, and Lebanon won big. And who else is there? So, really the only iffy game was probably that Bolivar win. So good luck Friday night, Coach, and we'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, thanks.
That is your COMC High School Football Coaches Show for this week, presented by Central Ozarks Medical Center. Brought to you by the great folks at Surdike Yamaha, our veterinary, Polylift Boat Lifts, the Missouri Coalition for Roadway Safety, Buckle Up, Phones Down, and Lake Ozark Real Estate, Jonathan Hartenstein, owner-broker. At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center offers 3 OBGYNs at the Osage Beach Clinic and 2 pediatricians with same-day appointments available. At COMC, our doors are open to everyone with 5 primary care locations conveniently located across the Ozarks. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission.